So we can clearly see that in this model of Gibraltar from 1865 here at the Gibraltar Museum that there was no river. This is the piece of land I'm interested in. This lagoon could be reality residue. This one says Gibraltar from the Straits plural. It's a blend of timelines. There's a reason why we can still see residue of Straits plural. It's because in another time in universe, Gibraltar is an island. The first Neanderthals were, Neanderthal fossils were found here. Behind me is the Rock Hotel. Have you ever met anyone that is visiting here or anyone that lives here in Gibraltar refer to Gibraltar as an island? They think it's an island?
My short answer would be yes.
Yes, so you have heard people refer to the island, the Gibraltar as an island?
Yeah.
All right. They lived here for many years and they always meet people that refer to this as an island, but it's not an island.
That's the thing, it's not an island, but it just makes you believe it is, because it's just like I said, an island is basically a territory that's surrounded by water.
Right, I get that part. Why is Gibraltar hosting the island games when it's not an island?
Good question.
Is it Straits plural of Gibraltar or Strait singular of Gibraltar?
No, plural.
Plural, the Straits. Why is it called Straits with an S if there's only one strait?
It's just what people are used to saying, basically. It's just, you just hear it from different generations.
People are just used to saying it.
So maybe.
Alright you guys, it's 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon and I've decided to come to the Gibraltar Museum right in front of me. Neanderthal, guys. Neanderthals on the lost island of Gibraltar. In this reality, there's a bay of Gibraltar. Gibraltar. So the original name of Gibraltar was Gibraltar. First, it appears that Gibraltar was first discovered by people from Africa, the Arabics, and yeah, there's a lot of, they got Arabic bathrooms here, and this is all evidence that at one point, even the monkeys, Europe was connected to Africa. It exists in another reality in which we can't see, and right now we're seeing remnants, we're seeing evidence of it. It's because it's leaking into this timeline. There's evidence. The fact that there's evidence is because it exists in another reality in which we can't see. Wow, you guys, look at this. This is a real model of Gibraltar. It's huge. If we go to the north part, this was supposedly the north side of Gibraltar, I guess, and I guess here it actually shows it. I guess it would show it connected to Spain over here, La Linea, and so it looks like. Okay, I see the lagoon over there. Maybe that's the lagoon. I'm not too sure. And that was the land port. Maybe actually that's the land port over there. I have to figure out what year this is from. Okay, so model of Gibraltar, completed 1865. So this is from 1865, you guys. So we can clearly see that in this model of Gibraltar from 1865 here at the Gibraltar Museum that there was no river, even though I've heard different accounts of water going through here, through the north of Gibraltar, of the rock. As you guys can see, I even recorded it. People say that there's been water going through here, that there used to be all water here, but it, you know, this model shows something completely different. It actually shows a huge piece of land connected to Spain. Obviously, you're not going to see Spain here, and I guess this is the lagoon area, and that land port tunnel. Oh, there it goes. I think that is the land port tunnel. Yeah, the land port tunnel is right over here, and so okay, now I see that lagoon right there. That was all water, and now that the whole area has been turned into land, human-made, man-made land, and that would be Casemate Square, and that tunnel, Landport Tunnel, should be right about there. Let me try and zoom in real quick. That's the Landport Tunnel exactly in the middle, and so you would walk through here, this tunnel right there, and then walk out through that Landport Tunnel. And I guess that parking lot was not on the water, and now I'm just learning that this area more further up was a lagoon. But yeah, there's no river. So it's interesting how people believe, they were taught that, you know, this whole side was water, so at one point therefore it could have been an island, but that's not true according to this model. There's a lot of very old photographs hanging along the side of the model, and I'm gonna have a look at all of these, see if I find any residue or interesting pictures. So just having a look from the from the east side. We're having a look at the east side of the isthmus, which connects to Spain from the Rock of Gibraltar, and obviously this right here would be Spain. Alright, you guys, these are the most interesting photos I've seen so far. This is the piece of land I'm interested in. This airport did not exist, and you know, the only way to get to Gibraltar was by ferry or boat, and the only reality in which Gibraltar exists as an island. This airport does not exist, so this piece of land is very interesting to me, and there's plenty of photographs here showing it. So this was from 1943, and 1943. Here's another one from 1943. All of these appear to be 1943 for some reason. Oh, here's one from 1942. The light is glaring. And runway side arms reclamation. So as far as these images here, so this is another one from 1932, 1941. Wow. So as far as these images behind me, I have now verified that this is what's being taught in this museum, these pictures behind me, including this model, that there was land connected to Spain. So Gibraltar has never been an island, but for some reason people will say that there was marshlands or there was a river to the north side of the rock, and that's not the case in this reality. So there's no way you can mistake Gibraltar for an island if there's always been land to the north connecting it to Spain. Here's another one from 1932, which clearly showing land, and I like this one because I've had a few people tell me that that land in between this land was actually used where the airport is now. It was actually a horse racetrack, so it's pretty interesting. Now, this is the first time I'm seeing a horse race here in this part of the land, and if we look down here, this picture is from 1956, and there's people crossing, I guess, the runway of the airport and heading towards Spain, La Línea. Here's the north gates with Spain. We are looking at a different history here, a different time and space, where Gibraltar is actually connected now to Spain. And this is amazing to see that history is different in different timelines. Yeah, wow, this is amazing. thinking the lagoon that area could be possibly reality residue, in which, you know, the north part of the island, this whole area was probably water. No, it was water. So this lagoon could be residue of the reality in which Gibraltar exists as an island. Alright, here's a cool image of the airport. The isthmus showing the small town of La Linea, the open vegetation of the neutral ground, the Victoria Gardens, and the Laguna. The area is now heavily built up on both sides of the frontier, with the runway cutting across it from east to west. So that's the airport, and here's a nice clear picture of the lagoon, showing the lagoon, and there was one road connecting to the other side of Gibraltar. So maybe there it appears this could be reality residue. I don't know if this part is was this man-made or was this natural? Because if this is natural and then we see this lagoon here, this lagoon could be reality residue. I like how this image will say Gibraltar with ships in the strait, singular, when there's a lot of souvenirs that say straits, and people refer to it as the straits, and the reason why is because there was a strait to the north and a strait to the south, but as you can see there, it says only strait, which is the correct, to me it would be the correct term, but for some reason, and there's a reason why, but for some reason people refer to it as straits. Alright, check this out, you guys. This one says Gibraltar from the straits, plural. So like I said, you know, here you can see an image, but it's a blend of timelines. There's a reason why we can still see residue of straits, plural. It's because in another time and universe, Gibraltar is an island. It's funny how this picture says straits, and a picture right down the room says strait, singular.
Made at Gibraltar. The Royal Marines perform the ceremony of the keys, with His Excellency the Governor, Lord Gort, presiding. Having received the keys of the fortress, sent with the words, "Halt, who goes there?" The keys. Who is keys?
There's a reason why we'll see so many photos of battleships or navy ships, whatever you want to call it, surrounding the rock. It's because it was an island in the Mediterranean, but it's straight to the north, straight to the south, and this is why it was so strategic, because it was in the middle of the Mediterranean, like literally at the entrance of the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. Alright, you guys, just leaving the museum after almost probably an hour and a half, just speaking to the lady Cheryl at the front desk, and you know, speaking about the Mandela effect, Gibraltar being an island, just like I do with everyone else here. It was a very long and deep conversation, and yeah, and I was just surprised to learn that, you know, allegedly the first Neanderthals were, you know, Neanderthal fossils were found here, allegedly, but supposedly there might be earlier ones that were found in Belgium or somewhere in Europe, and very, very interesting. And she just so happens to remember another human body, which I know it sounds crazy, but you know, I remember learning a different human skeleton that I was in, and she just so happens to have those memories as well. So, probably all of them, I think. Yeah, all of them. Right now I'll be making my way to a shop called Lewis Photos that she recommended, where I can find old photos of Gibraltar and hopefully find evidence of Gibraltar being an island. So I did also ask the lady at the front desk over there at the Gibraltar Museum, her name is Cheryl. I did ask her, and she told me that candytufts, I did confirm that candytufts are only are plants that are found in Africa, but also found in Gibraltar, and that there's also a bird called the Barbary partridge, which is a bird that is only found in Gibraltar and Northern Africa. Even more evidence that there's a reality that exists in which North Africa, Africa is actually connected to Europe. So I want to try and see these candytuft plants and these Barbary partridge birds. She gave me a location. She told me a location in which I can try and check them out. I'm gonna try and check them out. I just received an email from a lady by the name of Linda Alvarez. She actually is a representative for the 2019 Island Games, which was hosted here in Gibraltar. And yeah, it looks like we'll be meeting tomorrow on Saturday or Sunday. And I just received an email and I told her let's meet tomorrow morning. And yeah, looking forward to meeting her and asking her questions about why is Gibraltar hosting the Island Games when it's not an island. And I want to see the answers I get, because I'm going to use it as evidence. Here's Louis photos, and the lady at the museum was totally correct. As you can see here, there's old photos of Gibraltar. Wow, I'm gonna have to come back here tomorrow because they're closed and look for reality residue, evidence of Gibraltar being an island. Looks like they'll be open tomorrow at 10 a.m. Saturday, which is tomorrow is Saturday, so I'll have to come back here another time and see what I can find. Alright guys, it looks like I've made it to Almeida. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. But basically, here's the bottom of the cable car. I don't know if you can see there. There's a couple cable cars going up and down the rock. And here's the cable car entrance and exit. And I was told to look for an animal rescue here, to perhaps ask people there where I can find these Barbary birds that are native to Gibraltar and only found, it's the only part of Europe where these birds are found, and Northern Africa, and candytuft plants as well. Okay, I found it, you guys. This is where I was told to come, to Alameda, Gibraltar Botanic Gardens. We're gonna try and see if we can find some candytuft plants. I had no idea there was a botanical garden here. It looks really amazing. Looks really beautiful. Looks like a couple statues here. We got some cannon type things on the floor. Not sure. Looks like a military statue. Not sure who can I speak to here. Looks like a free garden. I don't have to pay for this. I'm trying to look for someone. Not sure if you guys can see that that white building. That white building is it's known as the Rock Hotel. It's one of the most popular hotels here in Gibraltar, as far as I know, from researching at places to stay here in Gibraltar. It's quite expensive, and I would just like to go to the lobby and speak, since it's one of the most popular hotels, speak to the people that work at the front desk and ask them some Gibraltar Island questions. All right, still looking for a person to speak to. Hello? Hello? Anybody in there? Hello? Okay, I guess not. So I just asked somebody walking nearby behind me if anybody works here. Looks like nobody works here, or maybe they're, I don't know, maybe they're closed but the garden is open. I don't know, but we're gonna have to find out another way where I can locate these Barbary birds and candytuft plants. There's still an animal rescue that I was told that I can possibly ask where I can find these two things. All right, you guys, behind me is the Rock Hotel. And I asked the people working here some questions. Let's see what they say. Oh, man. Beautiful hotel. Looks really expensive. In the reality where Gibraltar is an island, so we still see the water to the west of the Rock Hotel, but this would have all been water. You wouldn't have seen Spain, because this was literally in the middle of the Straits of Gibraltar, middle of the Mediterranean, and you literally would have just looked out here and you would have seen the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, Mediterranean Sea just go into the Atlantic Ocean, so you would have just seen water. But in this reality, you see a mountain, or land, sorry, which is Spain, to the west of Gibraltar. Hey guys, it's a really beautiful hotel. I've always, I've done research, and it seems to be a popular one here on Gibraltar, next to the one that's by the marina.
So the Sunburn.
I don't know, but it's a cruise.
It's a cruise, yeah.
And it's a hotel. So like those two are the most popular ones.
Yeah.
So it's so awesome just to see it. I've seen it in the pictures and stuff. It's pretty old, right?
Yeah, this is just over. This is from 1932.
Wow.
So we're speaking about 90 years ago, yeah.
Holy craps! So I'm pretty sure it's been renovated like a couple times to make it more modern, restored.
Maybe 8 years ago, the last renovation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Just a random question. Have you ever met anyone that is visiting here, or anyone that lives here in Gibraltar, refer to Gibraltar as an island? They think it's an island?
Well, I mean, I'm Gibraltarian.
Yeah.
And me also myself, like I used to call it an island as well, but apparently it's a colony apparently. But it's not an island 100% when you've got the Spanish border.
Right, it's a peninsula because it's attached to Spain.
It's a peninsula, yeah.
So why did you call it an island, you think?
I'm sorry, what was that?
So why do you think you called it an island when you were younger?
Well, basically because all what was surrounded was like British, and it was basically just all water. So the only thing stopping it from being an island was the border of it to Spain.
Ah.
So if you was to take that off that border, then it would just be surrounded by water.
Yeah. It would be technically. But have you ever met anyone else? Like, you'll hear people say, "Oh, Gibraltar's an island," or the island of Gibraltar.
The thing is, like, especially on Facebook, you just hear a bit of everything. You hear people say it's a colony, people say it's a peninsula, people saying it's an island. You just get.
See you later.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Tell me how it goes later.
So I guess the short answer would be yes or no. Which one?
My short answer would be yes.
Yes. So you have heard people refer to the island, the Gibraltar as an island.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'm investigating this phenomenon known as the Mandela effect.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever heard of it.
No.
Yeah. So
No, never.
everyone I speak to, I meet, and they lived here for many years, and they always meet people that refer to this as an island, but it's not an island.
That's the thing. It's not an island, but
Yeah.
it just makes you believe it is, because like it's just like I said. An island is basically a territory that's surrounded by water.
Right, I get that part.
That's the thing.
And my next question would be, have you ever heard of the island games?
The island games, yeah, we had that 2 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago, 2019.
3 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, and 1995 as well.
I was not born in 1995, so I know.
My question would be, why is Gibraltar hosting the island games when it's not an island?
Good question. I mean, I do not have a clue.
Yeah.
I do not have a clue.
Yeah.
I have to get back on that one.
Yeah.
Probably if I was to ask my mum, she would have a good answer.
And then my next question would be, is it Straits of Gibraltar or Strait of Gibraltar, plural, singular?
Sorry?
Is it Straits, plural, of Gibraltar, or Strait, singular of Gibraltar?
No, plural.
Plural. It's Straits. Why is it called Straits with an S if there's only one strait?
It's just what people are used to saying, basically. It's just, you just hear it from different generations.
People are just used to saying it.
So maybe maybe years ago it was just straight without being singular.
Yeah.
And just, it's just years go by, people change things.
Yeah. So the Mandela effect deals with, it's a supernatural phenomenon. Hold on guys, I'm gonna explain the Mandela effect to this gentleman. Alright you guys, I just left the Rock Hotel and I was speaking to the gentleman at the front and the lady. Their names are Leroy and Adela. And I spoke to Leroy. I didn't catch him on video, but you can hear his voice. And I spoke to Leroy at the front desk, and he said yes, he's met people that refer to Gibraltar as an island, and the list goes on and on, you guys. More than 95% of the people here will have come across people that refer to Gibraltar as an island, and there's a reason why.